Yo, what's up? This is Sleet. Welcome to another video on my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about why Messi probably wants to leave Barcelona. As of today, the news broke that Messi will not attend his COVID testing, which is tomorrow. When this video is going up, will be Sunday. And you'll probably know by then, if you're watching this, whether Messi went to it or not. But as of right now, all of the rumors are saying that Messi wants to leave Barcelona, and I think there's a lot of reasons for this. I don't think it's quite what a lot of people think. It's not as simple as losing 8-2 to Bayern and being unhappy with the board. I know a lot of people think that this is like a power play to try and get Bartomeu, I think that's how you pronounce his name. If I'm wrong, correct me, but it's to get Bartomeu, the president, out of his position and help the board change, and that'll create all kinds of change, and the team will get improved because they'll have better people running the club. But for me, it's not just the club being at fault, it's that it's so bad that in the coming years, Messi will not have time for a team to rebuild around him. Messi's already 33 years old, and he can't wait for a whole rebuild. He can't wait for Koeman, who might not even be the manager for another couple of months, to switch with somebody else and then have more signings be made. At his age, he just doesn't have time. If he wants to win the Champions League again, if he wants to win more and more trophies, he doesn't have time for his whole team to rebuild around him. And it's not fair on a legend to put so much pressure and heap so much expectation on him. And if you build your team around Messi at this point, it'll likely fail in another couple of years. Even if Barcelona had an incredible team right now, with Messi being the centerpiece, Messi won't be around for too much longer. He'll probably has another 3 or 4 seasons at the top level. I think he can drop back maybe into the middle as opposed to playing out wide. But for me, it's wrong to keep a legend like that at your team if he doesn't want to stay. And I think he has really justified reasons for not wanting to stay. It doesn't take a genius or a soccer expert to see how poorly run Barcelona have been in the past couple of years. Just look at their Champions League results. They had a strong lead against Roma and they got knocked out. They had a strong lead against Liverpool and they got knocked out. And what's especially apparent in that Liverpool tie for me is the fact that it could repeat. From one year you can see this mentality, this weak mentality, giving up a strong lead, and then it carries over to the next year. And it's not like Messi played poorly. In that second leg with Liverpool, where Liverpool won 4-0, Messi created a lot of chances, especially in the first half, that his teammates should have put away. I don't know this for sure, but I kind of remember this at the time. If you go to the player ratings for that game, I'm pretty sure Messi was in the top 3 or 4 top ratings, and his team lost 4-0. I think that just goes to show how much he was doing for the team. But you can't have one player. I don't care if he's the best of all time. This isn't basketball where you have such a great influence over the entire game with 1 or 2 players. Messi cannot carry 10 other people. And Barcelona have lost a lot of legends in the past couple of years. Messi will be one of these legends that they'll lose, and their main issue is that they do not replace them. And instead of blaming players or getting rid of players and replacing them, well, they tend to think it's a manager's fault because these players have been successful in the past. They make these managers scapegoats and they get rid of them. Just look at how many managers Barcelona have had in the past couple of years. They've had Valverde, recently Setien. And these are people who are not top managers. These aren't the kind of guys you expect to go to Barcelona. Even somebody like Pochettino, who I think is a top manager, who I actually thought Barcelona were going to really push to get instead of Koeman. He's not even won a trophy, but Pochettino is a much better manager than any of them that Barcelona have had recently. I believe it was the 2015 season that Barcelona won the treble, and that was a really good team. That's the MSN team. Their midfield was extremely strong. Dani Alves, I think, is the best right back of all time, at least that I've ever seen. He's definitely the best right back I've ever seen. And I think in terms of link-up play with Messi, was just a phenomenal player. Very underrated because maybe he's not the best out-and-out defender, but the best attacking fullback for sure. I know Trent gets a lot of assists. Dani Alves is just different class in terms of quality and getting forward. But from that team, I think Mascherano left, or yeah, he went to China. And Mascherano is a very strong defender. He's a really passionate guy. He's a good leader and organizer. Rakitic, who was the man of the match of that game, I think, or at least he scored the first goal. And I think Rakitic is, again, another very underrated player. Instead of letting him play a lot, they've continued to try and find replacements for Rakitic. And I don't get why. Rakitic was in the prime of his career at that point, pretty much. And he's continued to be very good when he plays, but instead of just keeping him there, they've bought in older players like Vidal, When they lost Iniesta, they replaced him with Arthur. Just recently, they've sold Arthur in a swap deal to get Pjanic, who I think Pjanic is a good player, but again, he's very old, and you're going to need to replace him again in another couple of years. When Neymar left, Barcelona freaked out. I think they, instead of just signing a direct winger replacement, they went and made two huge signings. They bought Ousmane Dembele for over 100 million, and they bought Coutinho for over 100 million. And Coutinho was used to playing off the left, so he could have been a direct signing. Ousmane Dembele also plays off the left. He could have been a direct replacement. But I don't think either of the signings were really well thought out. Coutinho could have been decent, but instead he had all this pressure hyped on him. He was pushed more into a midfield role, and when you're expected to be more like an Iniesta or Xavi type player, it just doesn't work. Coutinho's not that kind of guy. He's not a pass master. He's more of a dribbler. He likes to take pop shots. He's good from long range. And you're just asking for Barcelona fans to criticize a player like that when you get a player who's not used to that position and you ask him to replace arguably the best midfielder in that position of all time in Iniesta. That's just not going to work. On the left wing, Ousmane Dembele, they're just not treated right. I know that he's had a lot of injuries, but at this point, when you're being injured season after season, your team should really look to improve the doctors that you're looking into and like the treatment that you're receiving. And for Messi, this must have just been really disappointing to see. His best friend basically at Barcelona is Luis Suarez, who I think is a really good player. But even now, he's being mistreated and being gotten rid of when he probably doesn't want to go. And he's still arguably the best out-and-out number 9 that they have at Barcelona. I know they're looking at people like Lautaro Martinez, players like that, but I don't think Martinez would be able to replace Suarez. I don't think he's anywhere near that quality, especially from the time when they signed Suarez after his season at Liverpool. That like Suarez is just a fantastic player. And make no mistake, Messi isn't a dumb person. He's a genius in soccer, and he's probably very smart in a lot of other areas of his life. He is going to realize that Dani Alves goes and he's replaced with Nelson Semedo. There's something wrong with that. When you have a promising future midfield of Frankie de Jong and Arthur, but Arthur's barely played and then swapped for Pjanic, that doesn't make much sense either. When Busquets is aging, Piqué is aging, Jordi Alba is aging, and instead of signing really strong replacements or bringing in players from the academy like those players were, Barca look to spend big on these like flashy players that just don't fit the system. I know a lot of people like Lenglet at Barcelona. I personally think he's a terrible defender. I might be swayed though from that game against Bayern. I thought he was like the worst culprit for most of the goals. And Messi doesn't become the best player of all time like he does if he's not a competitor. He wants to win things. He knows that he needs to win things to be considered in that light. And I think he enjoys winning trophies. You cannot fool this guy into thinking that that's a competitive team. You can't have players like Piqué and Busquets, who are probably past it at this point. Jordi Alba, I'll throw in that boat as well, and be not necessarily and not replacing guys like that. And then when you lose these incredible players like Iniesta or Suarez, looking at fairly average strikers like Lautaro Martinez and even guys like Eric Garcia from City as a replacement for Piqué, these signings maybe in the future will work. Maybe it is smart to look young into somebody like Eric Garcia. But if you're going to start making smart signings now, young players for the future that can help rebuild this Barcelona team, Messi won't be around to see that. Ansu Fati at 17, by the time he's one of the top wingers in the world, Messi will be retired. It's the same thing for Eric Garcia. By the time he hits his prime, Messi will be way past it and probably not playing anymore. So why would Barcelona expect Messi to stick around for that? And every day the news around this transfer just gets worse and worse, in my opinion, for Barcelona. If you're a Barcelona fan, you must absolutely hate your board. These guys allowed for legends like Iniesta to leave for free. They allowed Dani Alves to go for free, I think. Maybe there was a small fee there, but they didn't like forcibly keep him from moving to Juventus, I think it was. And if you allow those other legends to go for free, you can't then stop Messi from doing the same thing. Messi has it in his contract. I know there's like a date on it, and the Barcelona board is going to argue, the president's going to say it expired on June 30th. But the essence of that deal is that you're letting this legend who's done so much for your team scored hundreds of goals for your team. You're letting him go off on a nice note. You're letting him leave when he thinks it's his time to go. And instead of just allowing that to happen, leaving fans at least with this nice legacy of their player, even though he's leaving, you have all these fond memories of him. You're not ruining it or like souring his legacy. Bartomeu is instead putting his foot down. He's forcing him to stay. He's saying that there's no chance he's going to stay, and this could turn into a legal battle. Messi has been informed by his lawyers, allegedly from the journalists and such, that he shouldn't go get his corona test tomorrow. He shouldn't attend training now because he's already ended his contract. And I think Messi has a right. I think if this goes to FIFA normally tends to favor players in these types of contract situations. They're going to let Messi go, and then the fans will be even more upset. It's not only did Messi leave, but now you've got the sour taste in your mouth because the president was trying to keep him and was trying to tear him down, make him seem like the bad guy. And people aren't stupid. In Barcelona, people love Messi. They're gonna be right at their phones, glued to any news. They're gonna know what's up. They already don't like Bartomeu, and this is just making it worse. Even if he resigns now, if the whole board changes, everybody underneath him, and they get in strong, capable people, it's the right thing for Messi to go. Those wages will probably free up some finances for Barca, and they should look to replace Young. If they get Angelino as a part of the swap deal with Eric Garcia when Messi goes to City, if they can try and arrange something like that, that'll be really good for them. A new left back that can really push on and become a strong left back for the coming years for them. And Angelino, he can replace Jordi Alba. Eric Garcia can learn from Piqué in his last couple of years and become a strong defensive point in that team next to Longley if they like Longley. And from there, if they get a competent manager, I'm not sure if Koeman will stay. I'm not sure if I rate Koeman. Maybe he's improved during his time in the Netherlands job. But at Everton, he wasn't very good. But if they get a good manager and they make smart signings, rather than these weird swaps for players that they don't need or getting rid of youngsters that they should really be playing, that Barcelona team already has people that can teach, and they should really get back to that fundamental basics of what the Barcelona philosophy is. And part of that is being a really noble club. If you're just one of the oldest clubs, one of the most historic teams like Barcelona are, if you've won all these trophies, you should really respect your legends. You should let Messi go for free. And if not for free, let him leave on good terms. He actually wanted to try and get Barcelona a transfer fee, and apparently for the good of Messi and for Barcelona as a club, their futures, I just really hope this is solved amicably. I hope if Messi doesn't turn up for his corona testing tomorrow, the Barcelona board is able to facilitate the move easier, and they're able to make it easier on him because he fully deserves that. And as a City fan, of course I want him to come. Of course I'm going to be on Messi's side, just as a football fan in general. No matter how much Bartomeu tries, you can't make Messi the bad guy in this situation. Everybody knows why he wants to leave. Everybody sees the cracks and the issues at Barcelona, and it's not as simple as just replacing everybody now. It's not as simple as seeing your best player go and trying to keep him so you replace and change everything to his liking. He just doesn't have the time for that. If this is a sporting project, Messi is a competitor. He's a winner. He's not going to want to stick around and not win things in the last years of his career. He's going to want to go and try something new, win something new. And as a City fan, I'm really excited. I don't care even if he comes to the City. I just love to see him outside of Barcelona. And he could prove to everybody that he is the best of all time. Anyways, if you liked the video today, please like, subscribe, comment. It means a lot. I like discussing with everybody in the comments. I might make more videos on this Messi situation for sure. I'll talk about it more, especially if you join City. That will be the most insane, happiest day of my life. Maybe my favorite player ever who hasn't played for City coming to City. It's what dreams. It's like dreaming, actually dreaming. Anyways, this has been Sleet. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.